What's up, Talking Flag fam? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast where we dive into everything flag football, the stories, the players, coaches, and the game we all love. I'm Tika.
And I am Ambra. And today, in episode 3, we've got someone really special joining us, a coach who is making serious moves for girls' flag football in Rhode Island. He's not just coaching, he's paving the way for the future of the sport.
That's right, he's the man behind the girls' flag football club at Johnston High School, Diamonds on the Gridiron, and overall flag football game changer. Welcome to the podcast, Coach Randy Phillips.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, ladies. First and foremost, I want to thank Ambra. Nice to meet you, Tika. I wish you could have came to Rhode Island with us. We had a great time. But I just want to say thank you, Ambra. It's been a pleasure. Again, I know we speak here and there. You've kept in contact with the small town kid from Rhode Island. And we've been following you and we've been supporting you, and you've been a big encouragement. Shout out to Coach Jen Welter. She was a phenomenal asset. Shout out to Coach Stone. We can't forget him too. You guys came to Rhode Island and made some noise last April. And again, like I said, thank you so much for keeping in contact and opening up opportunities and using your platform like this so that way we can get this game out to everybody.
Thank you so much, Coach Randy. That means a lot to me, and it means a lot to Tika as well, I know. And we're so happy to have you. So let's get right into it. So for anyone who might not know you yet, would you mind introducing yourself to our viewers and listeners?
All right, what's up, viewers? My name is Coach Randy. I'm more of a personal guy. You don't have to call me Coach Phillips and none of that stuff. I feel like in this day and age, I don't mind my first name being used because, again, when you add that coach, now it's more like a sir. So you can call me Coach Randy. But I am from Johnston, Rhode Island. Johnston, Rhode Island is a small state, and it's very a football town. So more or less I'm here, and I got an opportunity to coach at the high school, and I got an opportunity to start girls flag football too. So I'm a football coach for tackle and girls as well.
Amazing. So, Randy, you've been coaching for a while now, it sounds like, but how did your journey in girls flag football specifically get started?
That's a good question. So what ended up happening was I want to say November 2023. It was cold as heck outside, and it was halftime. So the boys are going over their game plan. The coaches are getting together, and I happen to look over and I see cheerleaders playing catch. And they're laughing and they're having a good time, and the boys are serious, and they're and I just remember, like, they look like they're having a good time over there. Maybe we can introduce some type of girls flag football program or game into the community, and then I ended up talking to my athletic director, and we got some wheels turning, and we ended up starting the first ever girls high school flag football in Rhode Island. So it was a tournament that was this grand tournament, had 6 schools, and there was no expectations for anybody. And by the way, just so you know, when I first started this journey, people laughed. People didn't take it serious. They were just kind of like, girls playing football, and it was a little disheartening because I think that, when you see a young lady do something that somebody told her she couldn't do, or a woman as yourselves, and you guys are great at what you do, it's kind of a slap in the face, and I want to make sure that all girls get the opportunity. So we ended up starting the tournament, and it was a donation tournament as well. So we ended up gathering $800. The winning team donated it to breast cancer awareness for the women. So I had people tell me that was the best $5 they ever spent.
Amazing. That's a really good story. Actually, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So obviously, girls flag football is gaining so much momentum around the whole world. So Rhode Island, like you said, is not really like the first place people think of when they hear about flag football. So how is the scene over there? Maybe you can compare it to when you just started and how the scene is right now.
So I mean, honestly, it's actually a lot better state than it was when we first met because you know I'm not putting anybody on blast, so just understand that. But I have a vision for this game. I have a vision for what I want, and I joined a few programs beforehand, and before I even started the high school team, and it just wasn't what I expected it to be. I love the boys. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to my boys. They got everything, the bells and the whistles, but it felt like the girls were getting secondhanded attention. And unfortunately, in the game that we're in, if you're not immersed in football, you have to take it step by step. Okay, I'm an over communicator, so I like to use references when I coach, just something to get the wheels turning, so you can remember. Oh, that's what that is. Or you hear a specific song. I use a thing called what does Shakira say? The hips don't lie. I'm a DB coach, so you got to watch those hips. So that's things that I use in reference, and then I have the girls repeat it back. So long story short, that's where I'm at as far as coaching goes. But the game that I want is translating, and the game and the vision that I see is formulating. So I did the first ever girls flag football league. It was an AAU league, the first one, and it was phenomenal. And the good thing about that was I couldn't just gauge it towards high school girls because Rhode Island isn't really flowing as far as the flag scene goes for the high school girls. So I mixed in middle school girls. But to our surprise, the athletic talent was neck and neck because a lot of middle schoolers play flag. A lot of middle schoolers travel around here. So that's something that is mainstream. So the league was phenomenal. It was a huge hit. And I got girls from all over Rhode Island to participate. I had about 36 girls participate. And it was phenomenal to see. And, Diamonds on the Grid on the IG page will tell you it all.
Wow, it sounds like you've done an amazing job, not just coaching, but like building opportunities for young women in the sport. Like even like you said, the Gridiron Girls Camp with Jen Welter. But how important is it to you to create those spaces where girls can see themselves represented in football?
It's a great opportunity, and it's important to me because, I grew up a single, my mom single parent, and I see my mom struggle and grow and trying to survive, and you know, I don't want that for our girls in our community. I wish somebody was giving opportunities to my mother, but that's a long time ago. But I want to give girls an opportunity to find themselves, to build courage, to build self confidence, to find that inner strength to tell the world I can do whatever I want. And to be honest with you, I feel like football is that avenue. It's more or less of a battle because you're battling yourself, you're battling the society, you're battling social media. I had girls on my team that didn't want to the high school team when it first started that didn't really want to tell anybody because they were afraid the boys were going to make fun of them. And, I think that's horrible. But at the same time, kids are going to be kids. But it's our job as coaches to build up. And again, I'm not a win or lose coach. I'm worried about the player first. Shout out to John Wooden. That's a coach from college. He's a basketball coach. Most winning as coach in college history. He built players. And when you build somebody and you help them get to the next level, you help them develop character-wise, winning comes naturally. When you do what you got to do at practice and you focus and you're locked in, winning comes naturally. So it's very important to help these girls with self-confidence and let them know they can do whatever they want and they can be whatever they want as long as they put their mind to it.
That's really, really good to hear. And it gives me goosebumps as a girl because I think us when we started playing football, we didn't really have any role models to look up to. We had to pave our own way, and it was always very difficult. And I feel like the girls that are playing flag football right now have us, and like all the girls that are playing of our age, they're being the role models, and even coaches like you, they're really role models. So I think it's just amazing that these girls have you as a coach. And I really feel like that as a coach, you're focused on the right thing, and I think they're privileged. These girls are privileged to have you as their coach. So thank you for what you're doing. It's amazing. So obviously, Rhode Island is still working on making girls flag football an official high school sport. What would it mean for the community and for the girls playing right now?
I'm glad you asked that because you brought the word community into play. So, I must do a quick sidebar. Community is one reason why the Johnston community, shout out to my Johnston people, repping the Panther, I got my girls Panther. Shout out to the community because we don't make it without the community. The community has to buy in. The community has to believe. And again, Johnston's a football town. Win or lose, they support their children. They show up to games. Listen, those stands are packed like it's a college game. And it's a good thing to see because I've come from different, communities and towns where unfortunately they don't, those kids and those girls don't get that support. And I want to use Johnston as a tool, to not just look at the town itself, but just look at the support. And hopefully other towns can do that too, because I don't get this far without Johnston community, from social media, from school, from everything, because the parents have to buy in ultimately. Parents buy in. They want to come support their kids. They want to see their daughter, Samantha, catch a touchdown. They want to see, Susan pull a flag. But those are small things that add up to those parents because they want to take pictures and they want to keep those memories for something that they did. But it's important because what happens now, if we sanction our sport, which we're in the process of doing, it puts a little bit more of a light and a shining bright light on Rhode Island, because now we're not just waiting to get recruited. I have a lot of talented girls in this state, and it's a diamond in the rough. We have basketball players, softball players, volleyball players, but all that can translate. And don't forget the soccer players too. Soccer is big in Rhode Island. And that also translates into football. And I think that once we hit that sanctioning state, I think that more colleges, more eyes are going to come out here and more opportunities are going to open at the next level for these girls.
That would be ideal, right? So I'm just thinking about, before we actually started recording the podcast, you were saying there were quite a lot of developments that we would love to hear about, if you don't mind.
All right. So since last May, which was our first ever girls high school flag football tournament, we had 6 teams, no expectations. We just said, play girls, have fun. Blew everybody's mind. So from that point on, I did the summer league, and phenomenal. Everybody loved it. Then me and my athletic director, shout out Justin Erickson from Johnston High School, he said, why don't we start getting a league going, a trial league, see what people say, see what people think. And to our surprise, we ended up getting a lot of buzz, a lot of feedback on girls flag football at the high school level. So we are currently at 11 schools that are going to be in our trial league this spring. And we have up to 24 high schools that want to sanction the sport. So we were making a lot of traction down here. And the good thing about Rhode Island is that all of our schools don't have to have it. If you want to start it, a sport, and that's with any sport. That's not just with flag football. Lacrosse started out just like flag football, a club sport. People worked at it. People grew it. People built it. Now there's a lot of schools in Rhode Island that have lacrosse. Not every school has it, but if you want it, you can have it. And that's what I like about Rhode Island. It's a small state, but not everybody has to have stuff like other states, so it started out as, a trial league, and now we're in the process of sanction, and we're probably looking at 2027. I'm hoping we can try to swing 26, but I'll take 27.
Wow. So in 1 year, a lot has happened, but a lot of good stuff has happened. So I'm so glad to hear that.
Oh, no, thank you. Again, it goes to, women like you, Coach Jen, Vanita. I actually met Vanita in Arizona. Love her, sweetheart. It just goes to show that, when you guys still reach out and support and help and, communicate, it gives us coaches, because I'm not the only one. I know there's other states that are dealing with the struggle and the battle, and you keep giving us a little bit of hope and a little bit of encouragement to still keep pushing on.
That's really nice to hear. Yeah, and we feel privileged to have you here on this podcast to tell your story, because it's really special. And again, I think it's really, really amazing what you're doing for these girls. And a great coach should never be taken for granted, because there's not so many around. So these girls are just really, really, really privileged.
Yeah,
thank you.
I echo what you're saying, and it's a huge commitment, isn't it, as a coach as well, outside your normal jobs and maybe family and whatnot. So I don't think when you're young, you actually realize how much time goes into coaching and in the prep, etc. And something that I've started, appreciating more since I've started coaching myself. And it's a lot. It's very satisfying. It's very rewarding, but at the same time, it's hard work, isn't it? It's not easy.
No, this is not for the faint of heart. This is, I'm a I'm a club coach, so essentially, I'm donating a lot of my time. I work
Yeah.
overnights at Brown University, so I got home at 7:30 to this morning, and I only got 4 hours of sleep to be here for you guys. So I had to make that commitment because, again, you guys and the world has to hear the story. And again, if I can influence and motivate anybody to keep pushing, keep fighting. Again, you got to put some stuff aside. Yeah, I'm married, and I have a phenomenal wife, shout out Liz. She supports the cause. And, yeah, it's taxing at times. Yeah, it's strenuous at times. But the bigger picture is these young ladies, when we see them accomplish things that people can't. And I keep repeating that because imagine somebody telling you men can't cook. And now I'm a man, and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna show you a thing or two, and I start getting better. I start, hey, listen, I can make you a nice egg sandwich, girls, sazon adobo, the whole thing. But that's something I'm joking. But that's something that as a man, I want to perfect and get better. So if there's somebody supporting me, if there's somebody backing me up, then I want to do that for these girls because again, a lot of these girls in our inner communities, some of them don't have role models, so I'm like Unc. I'm not just coach, I'm Unc. That's the kid, that's the term the kids use, Unc. I want to be that person that they can talk to, if there's something going on. And I think that building these relationships and opening these doors and just an opportunity, and that's what I want to teach girls too. Opportunity comes knocking, no matter how scary it looks. If you got to go to school in Kansas for flag, you got to go. I have one young lady who is potentially in the works of getting an offer for a school in Iowa. She's like, Coach, I'm scared. I never been there. I said, I hear you. I will walk with you through this whole process. But you got to get out of this state. You got to go see the world. You have to experience it. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You can come home and you can see your family. But I also tell girls, we don't have that thought process. If we can't use if, because if we use if, then we're hesitant on taking a chance. So I said, it's going to work out. You're going to love college. You're going to love playing at the next level. When it becomes pro, you better mention Coach Randy.
And you know what? It sounds like you're such a great support to them. You're not just a coach. You're more than a coach. You're really using some psychological skills there, which we love to see because we're psychologists ourselves. So that's fantastic. And not every coach has that, those person skills, those interactive skills, and they make a huge difference. So I'm so pleased to see this. This is fantastic.
No, and I don't, and I'll jump in and say I had a good core of coaches and mentors, because that's the thing. When I first started this game, my mentor, Jeff Lapierre, shout out to Jeff Lapierre at Central Falls High School. I actually played for him in 2003.
Oh, wow.
He was so he was still coaching up until 2019, and he retired from coaching. But he's like a dad to me. So when I first started this coaching game, he said, "What kind of coach do you want to be?" And I said, "Damn, that's a good question, because you can't just pick this up and start going, all right, blue 42, all right, cover 2, blitz, and you can't do that." And a lot of people might be good instructors, but not a lot of people are good teachers. So, and I'll say that, I want to, and that's for the young coaches out there, up and coming coaches. When you start this game, find out what kind of coach you want to be, because that's going to take a huge part in what you're doing and how you implement your teaching, is and how you guide yourself. And he was a coach that was the 3 F's: firm, fair, and friendly. So the thing with Coach Jeff was, and I'm sorry, y'all got me going. So this is my.
We love it.
No, please continue.
I don't want to be that guy. So he was very firm, but he was fair, but he was friendly, and he built relationships. So I remember one time in Central Falls, unfortunately, they don't have a grounds team. So me and him were setting up the football field at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And we're setting up the field, and this guy drives by, Coach Jeff. and he's yelling from his car. And I don't know how he's seen Coach Jeff, but that was a moment for me where I said, damn, this guy just drove by and he's yelling Coach Jeff's name, and Coach Jeff is waving at him. But this kid, remember, Coach, he made an impact, you know, and I said, damn, that's what I want to do. I want to make impacts. For the last, you know, before I got into coaching, I wasn't really doing nothing. I was playing video games. I wasn't really doing nothing with my time. Yeah, I worked in corporate America. I was making good money, but money is not going to make you that warm and fuzzy inside when you see a girl catch a touchdown pass, because she had to work to that level. So again, to the young coaches, get you some mentors, get you some good mentors. You know, I got to do a few shout outs. Tommy Centauri, phenomenal guy. Cranston East guy. Joe Achado. That's like, those are uncles, and Coach Jeff's like dad. So I got those good guys that help me. And when I have questions, hey, Coach Jeff, what do you think? Hey, Tommy, what do you think? Hey, Joe. And they give me great information and insightful information. And they've been in the game for about 30 years, you know, and they know what they're doing, and they're great people in the community. So again, get you some good mentors, coaches. You can't do this on your own. You got to get mentors. You need help.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And we need that supportive network as well as coaches, right? That we can rely on. And well, it sounds like you're making a huge impact on all these girls. And I really want to thank you for that, because it's, again, like this, it's not something that we take for granted as players. And we have such a great coach that is not only coaching, but also educating us and stimulating us, motivating us, doing so much for us. So I really thank you for what you do, Coach. It's amazing.
I mean, there's no thanks needed. And that's the thing. People tell me, "Oh, you got to take accolades, or you got to say thank. You got to take thanks." I can't take thanks for something I'm passionate for, and also at the same time, when you know it's everybody, and we're helping out, and I'm learning football, and I'm learning from different avenues. But again, I appreciate it.
Well, fantastic. I mean, what you said just now, find out the coach you want to be. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to write that down, and get yourself some mentors as well. I think that's great advice to anyone, both players and coaches.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Is there anything else you wanted to say to our listeners? Because we've quite some questions at you.
I just want to say, this journey is going to be hard. This journey is going to be tough. If you're a coach in one of your states that are trying to get this, or coaches or communities, you got to keep fighting a good fight. And, I would say it's better to work with the powers that be than work against them. I know things happen for a reason, but, we just got to stay optimistic and keep pushing forward. And it's going to happen eventually. Whether you're first or last, I can become a doctor tomorrow, and I can take my test and I can fail, but I can take it again. I'm still going to be a doctor. So whether you're first or last, you got to keep pushing and stay positive, and just keep being role models, because the players watch their coach. The players emulate their coach. The players are going to say, well, coach said. So you want to make sure that you're still a good role model through the process of trying to get what you want for girls flag football in everybody's state.
Being a great example. Exactly. And practice what you preach. Definitely.
Right. All right, Randy. So before we let you go, we've got a little tradition on the podcast, and you're officially our first guest to take part in it.
Okay.
So it's time for our rapid fire round. We'll throw 8 quick questions at you. No overthinking, okay? Just the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Yeah, make it happen.
Okay, here we go. Who complains to the refs the most, offense or defense?
Offense.
Who talks more trash, guys or girls?
Boys.
If you could ban one annoying football cliche forever, what would it be?
Taunting.
What is more important, speed or style?
Style.
What's your go-to play when you need a quick score?
Jet.
Which position thinks they're the smartest, but definitely isn't?
Wide receivers.
Personal. I'm joking. If someone says it's just flag football, should they be immediately escorted or given a second chance?
Escorted.
Okay, last one. What is one simple piece of advice you give to every player?
Give it your all. Leave it on the field.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Randy, thank you so much for
No,
joining us.
no problem, ladies. Again, listen, this is dope. This is my first podcast, by the way. And I will definitely be promoting you guys. Again, episode 3, baby. I want to see by next year. I want to be at 100, and I want to be at 103. I want 103 girls. Give me 103.
Oh,
Let's
thank you
go. We're
so much.
here for it.
Yeah. So
Yes.
again, I appreciate you, ladies. You're doing a phenomenal thing. Again, just so you know, Rhode Island is we have a lot of Italian descents. In Johnston, remember we went to Barlino's, Ambra.
Yep.
So the Italian people love you girls out in Rhode Island and Johnston. They see the glowing yellow hair and the blonde hair, and they're like, "Who's those girls?"
We love it. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. And well,
Okay, maybe.
your passion for growing girls flag football is inspiring, and we know this is just the beginning of what's coming for Rhode Island.
Oh yes, ma'am. But I got some stuff. So hopefully, episode 103 is not too far away because I have a lot of other things in the works that I'll keep under wraps. But just put it like this: we're not ending here. Sanctioning is great, but there's a lot more work to do, ladies.
Yeah,
A lot.
duly
So,
noted.
yes, yes. So, where can people follow along with everything you've got going on with the Johnston Lady Panthers, with the Diamonds on the Gridiron?
So if you look down there, there's the social media link. That's my main page. That's my football page. You'll find everything there. Also Johnston Lady Panthers flag football team. You can follow the high school too. It'd be nice for people to see the progression and the growth. And also Diamonds on the Gridiron. We're doing some summer tournaments, things of that nature. So it's very simple. You type in Coach Randy Phillips. You're gonna see me with Christian Gonzalez. That's my boy. I'm a DB guy. Johnston Lady Panthers High School. It's the only flag football page in Rhode Island high school. I encourage our other Rhode Islanders to get your high school pages going. Let the people see what you're doing, what you got going. And also Diamonds on the Gridiron. You can't miss it. It looks like the Superwoman sign, but it also has a football coming through it.
Love it. Thank you, Randy. And to all our listeners out there, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more stories from the world of flag football.
This is Talking Flag with Ambra and Tika. See you next time.
Ladies, thank you. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Randy. See you next time.